Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here. We just got news in the most recent update notes that in the next update, we're going to be getting some changes to the Rings of Power that we've become quite accustomed to. Obviously, play roleplay versus non-roleplay. There's some differences, but I think most people have gotten used to those. So I'm going to talk about the differences they talked about. If they're a big deal, not a big deal. Obviously, we won't know for sure until they come out, but I want to speculate a little bit on what these things could mean for the balance and health of the game. So stay tuned. All that coming up in just 1 second. Okay, so a post went out about less than 3 hours ago in the main Discord, which, by the way, I'll link this post in the description. So if you want to read this update post, you do have to be in the main Discord to follow the link to get here. But I'm going to post that here. This update is coming out on August 10th at 3 UTC. So where are we at right now? We're at 16. So the next time it hits 3 UTC, this video is going to go out pretty much right after it's recorded. So within not very much time here, we're going to have this update going live. But it says, a brand new ring. Your ring has been granted new powers and effects. Make use of your ring during your journeys in Middle-earth and form all new strategies. So it sounds like they're trying to shake things up with the ring, to shake things up in terms of how the battles take place in the game. The gathering feature will be adjusted in the new campaign. You'll be able to set specific gathering times as needed. So most of us are familiar with gathering unless you're brand new to the game, but you can use ability points, 3 of them, to go to tiles and gather resources, and you gather whatever resources on that tile. Pretty standard. It takes the kind of standard chunk of time. The more command you have on your army, you can reduce that time. So if you send a level 50 commander with a full army, you can do it quicker. Certain commanders have abilities to increase how much they gather. There are even abilities like harvest to increase the amount you can gather. So that's been pretty standard for a long time in a way people get resources. The only thing changing here, and I think this will be a good thing, although it'll affect some people somewhat negatively. It seems like we can now pick how much we want to do. Now, whether or not it's just like mock battling where you get 1 point at a time and click through as much as you want to, go for, or if it's in chunks of 3. The point is it allows for players who are not able to be on as much or throughout the day. Maybe you work and you just can't be on for like 10 hours at a time. And like you play in the evenings, you play in the mornings, maybe on your lunch break, but like there are big chunks of time you can't be on. This should allow players who can't be on as frequently to keep up and be more efficient. Because for some players, I'm one of those players, I can be on pretty much every hour if I need to be. I could set an alarm, but let me just go on real quick and make sure I'm keeping the ability points from maxing out. Make sure, if you want to play the most efficiently, you just want to make sure nothing is capped out. You always have troops going. You always have buildings going. You're always gathering, or not capped out on ability points. You're not capped out on stamina, all that good stuff. So this, in my mind, breaks that up a little bit to give players a little bit more chance to have an even playing field in terms of time they can spend and how frequently they're on. Will it make a huge deal with things? No, not really, because again, I just don't think it will. It's not like gathering takes hours and hours and hours, and ability points take a while to regen. So you could get on and send a few commanders out to gather, and you wouldn't cap out in ability points before you got on again in 8 hours or whatever. So I don't think it's a game changer, but it could be something nice where you're really needing a specific chunk of resources. You can grab that much and be done with it. So that's the gathering one. I don't think it's gonna make a big difference, but curious what your thoughts are, if you think we can expect anything else different with that. The next one, this is really where I think it's gonna get interesting. It says the mock battle will be replaced by a new ring ability called Mind Sharpener. So again, same thing, mock battling, 1 ability point per 10 minutes of mock battling, up to 15 ability points and 150 minutes total used. It says mock battling is going to be gone and replaced by Mind Sharpener. I've got a couple of thoughts on this. This could be a good thing, this could be a bad thing. First of all, Mind Sharpener sounds like a fancier way to say mock battling or training or whatever, like you're sharpening your mind. So if this is an improved version of mock battling that gives more XP, I'm fine with that. I for one am not a fan of the increase in XP needed to level up commanders. I know you can fight at whatever, you can fight at any point in your servers, and you can fight in mid-30s, you can fight in mid-40s or whatever. I, for one, am someone who likes to, at different points, even just mid-season, it'd be fun to pick up a new commander. Maybe you full pull them, maybe you get them to a higher respect level. And if you're late enough in the season and everyone's running around with level 50 commanders, you have to go mock battle for what seems like a really, really long time to get them to a viable level of use. So if this new mind sharpening ability gives more XP and sort of speeds up that process, because especially once you get into the mid 40s, going 45 to 50 takes a long time. And if you're fighting like we are right now, It's getting to 50 is on the back burner. Now, again, a lot of commanders can perform well once they get into that high 40s, but it would be nice to really see what the full potential is with the most amount of skill points you can have on all that good stuff. So I'm not a huge fan of the XP changes for that reason. And so if Mind Sharpener is going to be something to replace mock battling that gives us more, then I think that'd be good. I don't think everyone's going to agree on that, but I think I would be okay with that because it would allow me to do stuff. And I like to test commanders and try new things. And I want to run all Nazguls one season, so trying to legitimately get them leveled up with how it is now would be a huge pain. So that's the mock battling being removed. Again, downside here is their mind sharpening is a worse version of mock battling, or just not mock battling at all. And they're just removing ways that you can level up. Maybe they're going to change how much XP you get from PvP. So they want people to fight more, so give more XP for fighting player armies. I don't know what it's going to be, but if it's worse than mock battling, that's not going to be good with the current XP grind that there is. So that's mind sharpening. I think that's going to be the most interesting part of this update that we'll need to follow and see. Another note, I should have said at the beginning, but these effects, even as the update goes live, will only start in a new season. So if you're already in a server, I'm in a server right now, my ring's not just going to change when the update happens tonight. You have to be going. You have to be going. So when I go into season 6, this will be the effect. If you're going into season 6 after tonight, or a new season after tonight, this will happen. So we'll have an idea whenever the next batch of servers goes in after tonight what this exactly looks like. But again, it could be good. It could, for me, balance out the XP grind. It could also be their attempt at slowing down server progression, because some servers just go really, really quickly. So they just keep trying to change how people can get XP, which I do not think is the solution. So I hope that's not the case. And then the last 2 points here, and then we'll wrap this up, are the Long March and Quick March. So you can Long March and Quick March for 10 points each. Again, pretty explanatory if you've not used them. They're just, you can use ability points to march faster or march outside of fort range as long as you own the region. It says they are being added. Let's see here. Mock Battle is replaced with Mind Sharpener, and Long March and Quick March can now be found as new ring abilities. So whether or not they're replacing things, again, like, I don't know what they'd replace here. If they're just going to add extra trees, would they be just their own branches where it's just one? I don't know. But in theory, if it ends up being something that you can go into and reduce the amount of ability points needed to do these things, I think would be cool. Because quick marching is a pretty strategic way to maneuver around the battlefield. And so I think for those who like to play on the battlefield and do PvP, having more quick marches could be pretty fun to see what you could do. It could also just get chaotic where everyone and their grandma is quick marching all the freaking time. Long marching, I don't really know. Would the ring points allow you to march further? Would they allow you, when it's maxed out, to march into neutral territory? Can you march into enemy? I don't know. Some of those things could be very interesting. Maybe there are different tiers of long marching that are unlocked when a ring ability is maxed out. And maybe there are some kind of crazy mechanics where it's like you can march into enemy territory. I don't know. It seems like that would be a little bit broken to me, but I'm curious what everyone thinks. But again, we're getting some shakeup on how a lot of the ability points are used, and some adjustments to things and how we use the ring in general, which at most, could end up being a really non-issue, just slight adjustments. Or I shouldn't say at most, but the real at most would be, serious changes to how mock battling works, kind of broken or like really different mechanics for quick marching and long marching that could change how battling works. But I don't expect them to shake it up too dramatically. But again, we will see once some new servers go in after the update goes live. But that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are on these changes down below, and I'll see you all in a future video.